Welcome. This is the Between Brothers podcast, where we give you real talk, authentic takes, and laughs on sports, pop culture, and life. I'm your host, the Duke of the Bananas, Lando, in the building, along with my older brother, Zero, the Chancellor of Charisma. What's going on, Zero? Catch us up.
Um, Nothing much. I know we're gonna talk about it, but uh, was it? I think it was Saturday. Watch the watch Game 7. Somebody got to get traded. No, yeah, I watched that game and I was like, you have to be kidding me right now.
I mean, Williams being out for pretty much most of the
hmm
series probably had a lot to do with them losing it all
But the fact
altogether.
that Chet
But
shot the ball twice, was pump
sure,
faking, was pump faking wide open shots.
shook
Wemby
was
had 5 fouls and nobody was aggressive at the
bruh.
basket.
What? Who was it that mentioned that? Somebody, one of the old school guys mentioned that. Might have been Kenny Smith or Charles Barkley. It was like you got a guy in foul trouble and then you do nothing to get him out the game. Like,
The fact that it was like what 5, 6 minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes left, and this dude doesn't get another five. No, I don't.
you either go at him so you get him into foul trouble, or he's just going to give up buckets because he's scared to get another foul. Like it's a win-win situation. You can't lose. Now he's an incredible shot blocker, but I think that game he only had one block shot.
And it is like Chet played. Yeah, Chet. I don't know what the hell Chet was doing. Lou Dort was a non-factor.
Oh, he hasn't
Is
been cutting it since last series. I think he's been struggling.
Yeah, it was like, and they were, and I think it was what's his name, um, Legend of Winning. He said that this is, I don't know if it was a reach or not, but he was like, this is why the Thunder decided to make it a team option for Lou Dort's contract, because because yeah, this upcoming year is a team option to keep the Lou Dort or not. Yeah, that. But other than that, um, other than that, just keep him busy. Yeah. Kids made their own. They say it's a hopscotch. They say they drew a hopscotch thing on the concrete. It ain't hopscotch. They literally drew an obstacle course for their feet. He said you gotta hop and then you gotta spin and then you gotta zigzag and then you gotta move. Well, that sound like rugby hopscotch. It was like the only hopping you're doing is the first part. Everything else, it was like you do zigzag. They want you to moonwalk on concrete. It was like they want you to dance in a box. Like, what are we doing here? He was like, yeah, this ain't regular hopscotch. But other than that, everything else is.
um, my week was kind of uneventful. We over the weekend, of course, New York is in the finals. I wanted the Spurs of the two teams. I still don't think we match up great with either team. But I would have rather the Spurs than the Thunder, mainly because J Dub was likely to be back for the finals. Um, which he's a guy who can handle the ball and take some pressure off of SGA, which SGA, he turned the ball over a lot in that last series, and it's mostly because there wasn't a second ball handler on the team. So it's similar to what happened to Cade, like when you don't have a second guy who can create shots, create their own shot, and take the ball out of trust with the ball out of your main guy's hands. It's problematic because even though McCain's a solid player, he's not starting. Um, he's a what's the boy name? Jordan Poole type. Could he start? Could he get points? Yeah, but you probably if he's your best player, you're probably not winning a lot of games. But yeah, that was the matchup I preferred. So I'm with it. Do I think the Knicks can win? Yes. Do I think they're going to win? I'm still on the fence about it. The final start to when this podcast drops tomorrow. So um, I'm gonna go yes because of being a fan of the team. So if I'm gonna give my prediction, I'm gonna go with my heart, go with the Knicks. Realistically, they're not favored and they shouldn't be. But who knows? The only thing is I don't want us to give the next great big man for the Spurs his first ring like we did Duncan and Robinson. I don't want us to be that team. So you guys get through it. The biggest thing I'm concerned with when it comes to this matchup is Karl Anthony Towns getting bad fouls because he's done way better in these playoffs than any other series that he's played in, but he just has the habit of having like stupid fouls. Like you got a guy, you set a good pick on a guy, and then you push him. Like, what are you doing? It's just like, or a guy will go around you for a pick. You set a screen, he'll have to go around you for the pick, but then you'll stick your butt out and get an offensive foul. It's just like, bruh, like, what are you doing? Or even defensively, guy be guy will be running away from him, and then he'll just shove him in the back. And it's like, why did you do that? He's not even your man. So like, he's done it less this playoffs, but he has still done it in these playoffs. So it's just like, bro. But
Look, look, I told you earlier, Danhausen, the rest of the list for the Knicks when they were down two to they have lost against. so so Danhausen lifted the curse. The Knicks are going to sweep. Oh man,
um,
that was hilarious though.
if we win game one, I'll be very confident that we can win. Or if game one is close, but we can't like it got to be close to like, well, not like we win and then blow it. We got to like be close the whole time, and I don't know, but I'm excited, man. I haven't seen a team of mine go to the championship since I think 2 years ago with the Yankees when they played the Dodgers, and I'll never forget going to bed because we was up 5-0, and then waking up to text messages from my boy Slim saying that was a good game, that was a good series. Like, damn, how did that happen? So I will be watching the games. Um, as they come down. So yeah, uh, let's get to some topics. So when it comes to the the trades that were made over the last, let's say, 2 days, might have been a day, might have been 24 hours, not even 48.
It was just a day. Yeah,
Um, everything happened so fast. It just seems like it was longer. You usually don't see that
Yeah,
much
because
movement
I didn't even
in a single day.
yeah, because I didn't even see the Garrett trade.
Yeah, yeah. So Garrett
But
is off the Browns now. Um, I don't like that. You sign a massive deal, and then you complain about losing, and then you get to the Super Bowl favorite. Like that don't feel right to me.
oh my God.
That don't feel right to me. That you,
I feel bad for Jared Verse.
bruh. What is your thoughts about him? Because everybody keeps telling me how great of a defensive end he is, but I don't know. He's
I mean,
not
I
Myles Garrett. Can he become Myles Garrett? I don't think he can even become Myles Garrett. I think he's a decent defensive end, but I don't know if he's somebody you would rely on the anchor. I don't know what his numbers were last year. I know his rookie year, he had like his analytics were really good, even though he
mm,
didn't get a lot of sacks. But like his pass rush win rate was pretty high, um, especially in one-on-one situations. But he just didn't get to the quarterback, and I
yeah,
don't remember what his stats were last season.
he had a 7.5 sacks.
Yeah, so like for all everybody being like, oh, they got a great play in return. When you have 13 sacks your first two seasons, I'm like, I don't know. He had 4.5 plus 7.5,
It's 12.
12 sacks. Like,
But what they
like when I think of like great defensive ends, I don't know what Myles Garrett had his rookie year, but I'm spoiled because I witnessed the greatest defensive end draft, in my opinion, ever, which was Dwight Freeney and Julius Peppers. And both of them niggas was, I think both of them had double digit sacks. I think Dwight Freeney forced 9 fumbles his rookie year. Julius Peppers won defensive rookie of the year. I think he had an interception and a touchdown or something like that,
mm,
and one less sack than Dwight Freeney. Um, and I think overall the Panthers defense was better. I think that's why he got it. Because I'm taking 12 sacks or I think it was 12 or 13 sacks and 9 forced fumbles over that. But
so Miles Garrett's rookie year, he had 7. That was the only time he didn't have double digits.
yeah, I just don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't get it. And then there's rumors that uh, Aaron Donald is saying that he may come out of retirement from. If that happens, I don't need that to happen. If that were to happen, I'm giving everything up. I'm giving
Yeah,
everything
when I
up.
saw
Every team should they because they just got McDuffie, right?
yeah, they just got McDuffie.
Oh my God, man. Oh, they definitely in win now mode.
They just got McDuffie. They just traded for Miles. And now it's rumored that Aaron could come back. It was like, even at 35, I know that dude's still working out. Look what he did to Jared.
Bruh. No, well, not only that, he posted on Twitter himself working out, hashtag ready.
Yeah, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, right?
This this won't make no sense, man. This will, to be honest, I'd rather Aaron Donald not come back. Because then it is, I mean, they're kind of Super Bowl or bust as it is, but
Yeah.
it you can't lose. If you got Aaron Donald, McDuffie, the other defensive players they've had. What's the other guy on the defensive line, the white dude,
Braden Fisk.
Braden Fisk, Braden Fisk, Aaron Donald, and Myles
Miles Garrett.
Garrett on the same defensive line. You have to go undefeated.
No, and here's the thing. Somebody had mentioned it on I think it was Damian Woody. He said Miles Garrett is going for probably like Miles Garrett is finally going to understand or feel like is gonna enjoy what it feels like to rush the passer with a lead rather than always playing from behind.
Bruh, just think about that. The dude broke the sack record and they couldn't score points.
That's
This is scary, man.
yeah, their odds went up from I think it was -9 to -600 as Super Bowl favorites.
Plus,
Oh, it was plus. Okay.
yeah, ain't nobody you be a Super Bowl favorite. Nobody's ever negative odds when it comes to Super.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
that's bro.
their
And
odds went up.
As long as Matthew Stafford stays healthy,
Hmm.
and if Puka can actually finish a full season, that offense is dangerous. The offensive line is better. Yeah, the Rams being, last season I picked the Rams to make it to the Super Bowl, and I still don't understand why the clock didn't stop on that last drive. Would they have won? Not necessarily, but they were in range to have one more heave at the end zone.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, this is scary. My as a Jets fan, it, having to see AJ Brown twice a year, I'm not looking forward to that. I do think the Patriots are going to regress, but I don't think that AJ Brown is going to hurt them. And I heard that it's strange between him and Jalen Hurts. I heard that we're seeing rumors that it's because they had some beef surrounding um, the AJ Brown's ex, the mother of his daughter. Um, and then I've also heard that AJ Brown had an issue with um, the Eagles organization and Jalen Hurts for not standing up for Hassan Reddick when they just release him or because of due to contract issues or whatever, or traded
Yeah.
him. They traded him to us. I think we dealt like a fourth round pick for him or something like that. I
Mm.
don't know. It was a strange situation, but like they were like he was actually coming off of like double digit sack season, and he just like act like and apparently he wasn't even asking for very much money
Yeah.
at that. So like I don't know. I don't get it. That situation because he was his daughter's godfather or Jalen Hurts. So you go from that to what the relationship clearly was at the end of the last two seasons, really. Um, Given Drake May, who was one of the best deep ball throwers last season, probably the best deep threat in football. I ain't looking forward to this season, dog. Not, not as a Jets fan. I'm looking forward to it as a football fan, but not as a Jets fan. What do you think of the AJ Brown deal? I don't even remember what they got. Um,
So the Philly got a first for a first in 2028 and a 2027 fifth round pick, but they get I don't know how because I think the Patriots had two fifth round picks, and I guess where the draft order falls, Philly gets the higher of the two.
yeah,
Um,
I mean,
the
both teams are probably Super Bowl contenders, or definitely playoff teams for the next few years. So I don't even know if it'll make that much of a difference.
it won't. And I know with Garrett, they got the Cleveland got Verse, a 2020, yeah, the 2027 first, a 2028 second, and a 2029 third.
Mm.
But the AJ Brown, the AJ Brown trade. I mean, they've been speculating on this for the longest.
Speculating. It was virtually a done deal back
Yeah,
right
and it was like,
right right before the Diana Rossini scandal.
and it was like, and it just seemed like when that was basically happening, it just seemed like there were just reports where folks were like, is another team going to pop up? Yeah, is another team gonna pop up in the um to snatch AJ Brown away from the Patriots? Is like, it's not happening. Like, chill out, dog. Because what's it called? Because it's it felt like there was too much of a stigma on what's his name, on AJ Brown, how things are, well, really, like the last 2 years. It was like, him reading the book on the sideline, like all the at least he got past the first page.
The dumb football player.
Yeah,
The dumb football player could
yeah.
read more pages than the smartest basketball player of all time. I don't know. I don't know. I'm I'm
Yeah, but
permanently shrugging my shoulders.
yeah, but it
Permanently
was
no
like,
neck mode.
yeah, it is just funny to me. Like, it was a done deal before the deal was actually done.
I
So
ain't
it,
never seen I've never seen a deal get done 4 years in advance. I mean, I know it wasn't that long, but it felt like that long. Like it was pretty much like the second Drake May became like started becoming like good or playing well. It seemed like everybody was like, "Oh, AJ Brown when he leave Philly, he gonna leave Philly and he going to the Patriots." It seemed like middle of the season that's what was going. Like that was the
yeah,
rumor.
and, but like you said, as a football fan, I'm excited to see how both do. But it's like, but as a Jaguar fan, being in the AFC, I don't know if we
I
played them
don't
this
think we
year. I don't
put.
think we played.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, we don't play each other this year, but it's like, if we make the playoffs and we got to play them in the playoffs, that's gonna be, is like that'll be pretty tough. But it's something that I'm looking forward to. Let's see if AJ Brown is the cancer that folks were really trying to peg him out to be.
Well, he didn't get dealt from Tennessee because he wanted to. Even Mike Vrabel was again like Mike Vrabel was pissed that he got dealt,
Yeah, I remember that.
and now he got him back. So I don't understand how Mike Vrabel ain't getting no heat, dog. This is clearly this was clearly tampering.
Collusion at its finest.
This is clearly, but like, and we mentioned it on the pod when it came to Dirty Diana and him. And everybody is jumping on Diana. Like, man, she cheated on her husband. Like, bro didn't cheat on his wife. And was
Interlocking
out
fingers and shit.
interlocking, dog. Interlocking fingers,
I'm saying this
interlocking genitals,
this Can You Feel the Love
interlocking
Tonight ass
lips.
pictures.
Bro is on BET Uncut doing
Yo, he was
Diana
he's
doing
interlocking
tick
fingers saying
drills.
it must be ass because it ain't your face.
Bruh. doing tip drills. He over here showing the defense what a tip drill is every day. Him and Diana doing tip drills. This is how you get it done.
It's like, why are you never
He
in
ain't
the
got
office
no
on
he
time?
he ain't got no suspensions, no fines, no media scrutiny.
I was
It
saying
was
that.
all Diana. If I'm Diana, y'all might as well get married. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, man, I done risked it all. At least I got a millionaire husband. You know what I'm
Say he
saying?
already say he already using more than the tip. I'm just saying, just
Right. Interlocking all kinds of things. Colluding trades, tampering. He tampered in the league and in two marriages. This is clearly the Patriot way. It's clearly the Patriot way. Cheating, scandals. Dang. Look, there ain't no Patriot that ain't had a scandal, yo. There ain't no great Patriot that ain't had a scandal. No, I shouldn't say that. Gronk hasn't had no scandals. But the
Nah, he
Belichick
did.
era,
He did face some scrutiny before.
yeah, but it
It
wasn't no
wasn't really.
scandal.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was like it wasn't really much of anything because when he what was it? He broke his arm and then you see him on stage elbow dropping a nigga with a broken arm.
Clown. But I'm just saying, like, he probably, like, but like, because of course there's, the guys like Wes Welker. I guess
Mhm.
technically he's a Patriot great. Randy Moss didn't really have scandals in New England, at least I don't think.
No, but he didn't have no scandals in New England. It's just that they had a falling out.
But I don't think he's a Patriot great though. He was only there for what, 3 years?
Yeah, three or four.
He had the greatest wide receiver season I've ever seen. But he wasn't. I don't know if they would consider him a Patriot great. Tom Brady, of course, with the Deflate Gate, which I always thought was nothing. But shoot, people forget that Tom Brady was with Giselle and had an ex pregnant at the same time. People forget about that. Of
You
course,
learn from Vrabel.
Spygate. Yo, we got Vrabel. We got Bill Belichick.
Soon you're gonna hear Romeo Crennel was doing some shit.
The only reason why you haven't heard anything about the two of them was because they got out and dodged before it got ugly. This is
Yep.
clearly the
Him
Patriot
and Charlie
way.
Weiss.
Yeah, and what's his name? With the dude who kept getting jobs, the OC.
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, he had not like scandals like this, but dude, every locker room fell out on him after 6 weeks.
That's a scandal within itself.
Bruh, bro was an unwanted baby. Everybody was aborting his ass as soon as they found out what he really was.
Like, what the hell is this, nigga?
Oh, snap. Every franchise took that plan B when they got that Josh McDaniels baby. Oh
Oh man.
no, Dirty Diana.
Yeah, that shit is ridiculous.
I wonder if she said that to his wife. He not coming back because he's sleeping with me.
No, no,
You
it's
see
like
these
he's not
interlock
coming back because
fingers?
he's interlocking
You
these.
see these interlock fingers? He ain't coming back. Not today. He's still on the road.
Like, he ain't coming back. He's interlocking with these.
Oh
Oh shit.
man. I forgot what I was talking about. The trades. The trades. The trades.
Oh, there won't. Yeah, there was the only two, and basically
I
they
mean,
had to happen.
if there were any others, who cares?
It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, come on, man. Two
Yeah,
blockbuster
because
deals in the same day.
Yeah, like I said, I saw the AJ one, and then I went on YouTube and it was like, and it said reaction to Miles Garrett. I was like, wait. Is this another Bleacher Report thing where they're speculating that he was
My
gonna get traded, and then it was like, I see the deal. I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me! How
my
did I
boy
miss
Kyle,
this?
he was like, "Yo, they about to trade him." I said, "There ain't no way the Browns about to trade him." And he was like, "Man, that's what it's rumored to." And I'm like, I was like, the Browns, he's the only good player left, or at least elite player. Well, what's the corner? Ward.
Denzel Ward.
He's top five corner most likely in the league.
No, but
So
supposedly yeah, because what was it? They did earlier in the offseason, the Browns did try to push back or did push back his roster bonus. I guess they because it was said like his roster bonus got pushed back to like right before. I guess he would get his roster bonus right before, or he would have right before the season started. I guess they were doing that so they didn't have to pay the roster bonus before they found a trade partner, because it was even with, look at the with the trade. They got a they got picks from for next year, 2028 and 2029. I think the Browns had said something about having a about the NFL allowing you to uh take on, yeah, to accept draft picks, extend how far down the line you can get draft picks. It was like all this was happening like when the owners had their meeting and everything of that nature. It was like push back the roster bonus, asking if you could, yeah, it's like requesting or petitioning for um getting more draft capital further down the line than I think just 2 years. And I think that's, yeah, it was like it seemed like everything was setting up for Garrett getting traded because it was like you can get more draft capital going further down the line rather than where it was at. I think that's what it was. It's like it was
uh,
foreshadowing, but you didn't think that he was actually going to get traded because especially the June 1st roster cuts, even though I don't think anybody really got cut, that was because they were saying the stuff needed to get done before or right after June 1st, because that's when a lot of players can get released and more cap room could be made. But I could just be speculating here.
yeah. From one dummy to another, Rich Paul. You know what? I think I honestly believe that it's the clutch sports way to get on cameras and lie.
The clutch sports way and the Patriot way. There's a lot of ways today.
There's a lot of ways to stupidity on today's podcast. Because there's a couple other stupid people we about to talk about too that we talked about before. But I will say this. Saying Michael Jordan would be 0-6 in the finals without Scottie Pippen has to be the single dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life when it comes to basketball takes. The only thing in sports that I can think of that I've heard someone say that was dumber was that Steve McNair was a top five all-time quarterback just because he went to school with Steve McNair. That guy, I hope he burns in hell for that take.
Jesus Christ.
Like, again, y'all know one of my best friends play in the NFL, top five pick. I'm not sitting here telling everybody he's the greatest offensive lineman of all time. Love you, bro. But look, that boy, I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of who was great offense. Well, ironically played with Jason Peters. Um, no, not Jason Peters. Lane Johnson. One of them. One of them Eagles guys.
It was, I think it was Lane.
Yeah. So like, ironically, he did play with one of the great right tackles of all time. But but yeah, like I'm not about to sit here and lie just because we friends or because we know each other. But like at the end of the day, I get it. LeBron's your client, he's your friend, he's your best friend, he's your closest friend. You do not have to bash Michael Jordan to big up LeBron James. You don't you just talk about LeBron. Just talk about how great LeBron was. Just talk about highlight the great things about his career. To say that Scottie Pippen, he'd be 0-6 without Scottie Pippen in the finals. I said this earlier today. It would have made more sense if he said Michael Jordan never makes the finals without Scottie Pippen. That would actually be a stronger case. Because Michael Jordan never did make the finals without Scottie Pippen. Now, vice versa, Scottie Pippen actually played, you know, more prime years of his prime years without Michael Jordan and didn't make the finals. So there's that. Um, LeBron, the one season you could say, like, yo, he made the finals, or I guess there might be two seasons, both of them with Cleveland. The one year where they made the finals when they beat Detroit to get to the finals, that team probably shouldn't have made it to the finals that season. Um, just because of who Detroit was. And LeBron put up his Dwayne Wade, performance in that series. Um, Unfortunately, he didn't do it in the finals against the Spurs. And then I forget there was one year post Kyrie where they made the finals. Um, and I think it might have been the year they got swept by Golden State, where that team probably shouldn't have made the finals. I think that was the year they went 7 games with Boston. If I'm not mistaken, I don't remember. Um,
I think they went seven, and Kyrie didn't play the entire series because it was a year after, I believe. Oh,
yeah,
no, no, no,
Kyrie didn't play the series at all because he got hurt.
no. I was thinking, was it 2017 or 2018?
I don't know I think it was 2018 because it
Yeah, it
was
was
the last year,
2018 because what's it
and
called?
and Kyrie was there. Kyrie was on the team, but he didn't play. He didn't play in
Yeah,
that series, and it was Jason Tatum and them, and that's when people realized like Jason Tatum could be a star in the league. Um, but though, so you can say like, okay, like LeBron's shown he can make the finals without superstar talent around. Let We gotta stop. We gotta stop putting Scottie Pippen on this pedestal like he was this juggernaut offensively, like Michael Jordan was. Like he was a juggernaut offensive. All right, I'm just I'm I'm just gonna say this. Scottie Pippen is one of the 5 to 7 greatest small forwards. Offensively, with who LeBron has played with in their primes versus Scottie Pippen. As a scorer, I'm taking Anthony Davis. Um, and I'm talking about LeBron's father too. I'm not talking about Lakers LeBron. Now LeBron with
hmm
Luca. I'm taking Anthony Davis as an offensive and defensive player just because of his shot block. Um, I'm taking Anthony Davis as an overall player. I'm taking Kyrie as an offensive player, Wade as an offensive player, maybe as an overall player as well, because people forget Dwayne Wade was locked down defensively as well. And I'm taking who did I name? And I'm taking Chris Bosh over Scottie Pippen as an offensive player. So, like, we really about to act like a guy who averaged 18 to 21 a game. I don't even know if he averaged that much.
Yeah, I think it was like 16.
Check his career highs with the Bulls. Um,
No, I think his career high was the year that he didn't go to yeah, when the one year he was with he didn't have Jordan.
which was how much? I
I
think
think it
like
was like
20,
20, 21.
22. Pull it up. Pull it up. Check his career highs with the Bulls and see if he played with Jordan, and then see what his career high is with Jordan. While Jordan's putting up 30 a game. And then when Scottie Pippen had the shots, it was like, oh, Jordan was taking all the shots. When he had the shots, his averages didn't change much. So it's just like, what are we doing? That just wasn't his game. He wasn't a scorer. He wasn't a
Yeah,
killer
he's
offensively.
yeah, the year he didn't have Jordan, he averaged 22,
Boy,
9 and 5.
boy,
Well, rounding up. Yeah, it was like 20, yeah,
that boy
22
memory is incredible.
points, 8.7 rebounds, 5.6
Which I
assists,
think was his career low in assists.
and
His prime low in assists.
2.9 steals.
What was his highest with Jordan? Probably 18.
His highest with um it was 21.
21. What year
Yeah,
was
that was
that?
the 91 92 season. Do I count 94 95? Cuz
No,
you
that would have been no.
yeah, cuz 94 95 Jordan played for like what, 16 or 19 games?
I don't really care. He wasn't playing with him the whole
Yeah,
time.
his best year 21. Yeah, he was averaging 21 7 and 7.
And so it's just like these are the things that like we got to stop trying to ignore. Like I said, you have a better chance. Like these are the things that like piss me off about like fan arguments. It's just like the dude score society when he was like, oh, Jordan was going up against guys like Jeff Hornacek who was shooting 8 times a game. And it's like, why would you compare him to the third or fourth option on the Utah Jazz at the shooting guard position? Why wouldn't you compare his numbers? Jordan did take the most shots, but why wouldn't you compare his numbers as a shooting guard to other shooting guards that were the guys getting the shots? Why wouldn't you compare him to Clyde Drexler? Jordan was compared to Clyde
Hmm.
Drexler all the way up until he beat Drexler in the finals.
Yeah, they said stop that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Then it went to Reggie Miller after that. And Reggie Miller, Reggie Miller didn't have the same game like style of play. The guys who were more ball dominant type of guys were Mitch Richmond and Clyde Drexler. So it's just like, why wouldn't you compare him to those guys? Why would you compare him to a guy whose job who was a specialist? Because you guys, all of you are being disingenuous with your arguments. Every single last one of you. 0-6 in the finals is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and Scotty averaged 17 and a half. Yeah, Scotty averaged 17 and a half, 7.6 rebounds and five assists in his career in the playoffs.
With the Bulls or overall?
It was overall. I'm trying to find the hold on, let me um
Because we got to remember that Scotty was a non-factor in the finals, in Jordan's last finals. So it's just like I said, just the whole this whole thing where people are trying to big up Scottie Pippen just to downplay Michael Jordan is so asinine. Because you can because we have a series where Dwayne Wade outperform where the second best player outperformed the best player. Dwayne Wade outperformed LeBron James.
Yeah, Scotty averaged 18, 7, and 5 in the playoff games that he played in Chicago.
One of those series, Jordan averaged 41. Like, what are we talking about?
Shoot, I think there's 3 series where Jordan averaged 40.
Yeah, there is. I think against Miami, it might have been Miami or Charlotte, he averaged like 43 a game. Um, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the finals specifically. But like, I think he has the most finals. This is the most finals and playoff um series. He has the highest averages of all of them. So it's just like, why do we do this? Why do y'all feel the need to do this? Like, you don't not have to be disingenuous to say that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. Use whatever statistics you want to use to make the case that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. I don't care. But like this is why the ring thing has to stop. I've said this 100 times on this podcast. If the only thing that you can, I don't care how big of a Jordan fan you claim you are. If the only thing you can rest on is the 6-0 in the finals, you don't know anything about basketball. I shouldn't say anything. You don't know enough about basketball. I don't care if and somebody who leans on it a lot. Two people who are getting paid to make basketball commentary. That's Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. You don't know enough about basketball if you always have to go to that. There's so much more that Michael Jordan did than just win championships that could make the case that he's a better player than LeBron James. So 6 finals MVPs, I don't care. I'm not saying that shouldn't be part of the argument, but if that's what your argument rests on, if that's the whole foundation of your argument, then it's weak. Because that's why they say, oh, well, why isn't Bill Russell the greatest player of all time? Why isn't Robert Ory, which I don't know why people even bring up Robert Ory, but anybody who has more championships than Michael Jordan, which there's maybe 10 players with more championships than Michael Jordan, that's the case they're going to use. So that's why it's a weak argument. So that's why Stephen A, at least, he more leans on the finals MVPs because it's clearly that Michael Jordan was the best player in the 6 finals that he played in. But
Mhm.
which again, that's better than the 6 championships. That's a better argument than the 6 championships. So, but I still, because it's surrounded by championships, is why I have an issue with it because championships at the end of the day is a team statistic. Michael Jordan did so much individually. We shouldn't have to lean on that. 0-6 in the finals without Scottie Pippen. I remember old sports group I was in. This guy, I said, when did basketball fans start giving all this love to Scottie Pippen? This is before the Last Dance. 3 years, 4 years before the Last Dance. Where did this come from? The guy was like, what Scottie Pippen fans? He couldn't separate basketball fans from being fans of a player. So I heard this thing from a guy I used to follow named Boxing Ego. There's the fans of the sport, and then there's man fans. Most of y'all niggas is man fans. Rich Paul's supposed to be a man fan. That's his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he's on a live podcast and nobody's checking him on the stupid shit, I mean, in a visceral way. Bro, you know how dumb you sound right now? You're too intelligent to believe that. All the money you've made, all these other basketball players, being a kid from the hood in Akron, you're too smart to say these things out loud into a camera and a microphone. You know better than that. Because again, you can just dismantle that whole thing because nobody's ever outperformed Michael Jordan in a finals. While LeBron had 3 players outperform him in the finals. One of them was on his team, and Dirk and a career 6 man in Jason Terry. What the fuck are we talking about? This don't even make sense. A 6'2", 180-pound 6 man said on camera he can't do it for 4 games, and he didn't. LeBron James with Dwayne Wade lost the finals.
But nowadays it's not about. It seems
So
like it's not about winning the finals. It's about how many times that you can get there. It's like it's hard to get there. Like,
100%. But we ain't never getting no. LeBron James is the first player all time to get credit for going. Because guess when people again, I've made this stick. Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player I've ever seen. Ken Griffey Jr. is the second greatest baseball player I've ever seen. I didn't watch Babe Ruth. I don't really watch baseball enough to know anything about Shohei Ohtani. He might really be like that. I don't know. I watch Yankees game. If I watch baseball, it's Yankees. My point is, I've never heard anybody say Barry Bonds made it to the chip. No, I don't think Kevin Griffey ever made it
yeah,
to
he's
the
never been to a World Series.
World Series. Nobody's ever said that. Nobody's ever used that against them either. When they're trying to make a case, we know Barry Bonds won 7 MVPs. We know Barry Bonds is a home run leader. We know Barry Bonds before the steroids era was a guaranteed Hall of Famer. 500 home runs. I forget how many stolen bases he had by then. Like, dude was already a Hall of Fame. That's why him and Roger Clemens, they should get in the Hall of Fame, because even if you want to use the steroid thing against them, they were that before that.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to take those last 4 or 5 seasons away from them, do that. Take all those numbers away. Take all those alleged steroids numbers away. They still got Hall of Fame numbers. Cut it out, baseball. But like, you're not hearing that. Oh man, Barry Bonds, man, he carried a team that wasn't even that good to the World Series. Nobody's saying that. Nobody said that about anybody. Nobody said that about Jerry West. Nobody said that about Wilt Chamberlain. Well, like, people saying that, people sit there dissing Wilt Chamberlain because he won 2 championships and comparing him to guys like James Harden. Like, Wilt Chamberlain didn't go up against the greatest team ever. Oh yeah, like the Celtics, like the '60s Celtics weren't the reason. Like he was just losing to everybody, like James Harden did. But they'll use that excuse for LeBron James. Man, he went up against the Warriors 4 times. So y'all ain't giving that excuse to Jerry West, who went up against the Celtics a bunch of times. Will Chamberlain, very similar to Michael Jordan. The second he got another All Star, he won a championship. LeBron James played with every All Star and they got enough rings. I'm not even. I don't even think I'm exaggerating like that. That I'm not. Even, my exaggeration might not even be that off. I think he's played with almost every All Star. Now they might not have been All Stars at the time, but I think he's played with every All Star except the Spurs. The Spurs All Stars. He played everybody but Tim Duncan and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Like, bruh, this is stupid. Anyways, your thoughts?
Look, my thing is, yeah, defend your boy. I get it. But defending your boy doesn't mean that you got to be delusional in this situation. Like, yeah, he's is like he is your best friend. We understand. You're gonna defend him. Yeah, you're gonna defend LeBron, but the fact that you can come out your mouth and say that Pippen's rings, that you put Pippen's rings on the same level as Jordan's. Like we know who was Batman and who was Robin. There was no, it's interchangeable. Though the time that, because you know everybody loved using that the Bulls won two less games when Jordan left, as if they don't understand that Jordan was part, yeah, that the system never changed. It was because they played the same. It's like they played the same system. They had the same coach. Like, but Pippen couldn't do it. Yeah, Pippen couldn't do it on his own. Even the same guy who you say that Pippen, his rings are at the same level as Jordan, was literally on camera pointing to a pair of Jordans, wanting him to come back. They were barely going to make them. It's like they were about to miss the playoffs. Jordan come back for 19 games, and like you want to put their rings on the same level when Pippen couldn't do it on his own. Like folks, and I know it's not kind of off. It's like kind of veering off, but when Pippen, when everybody talks about the Bulls losing to the Knicks in 7 games, everybody always says one bad call was the reason why the Bulls didn't go to the finals. It's like it was the second round when this happened, and the call happened in game 5. They went 7. They
It's like you
went
remember
7.
what was his name? Bartman,
Yeah.
the baseball
Yeah,
dude.
Steve Bartman, when he dropped that baseball, it like Moises Alou made it seem as if the game was on the fucking line. Like without that out, they would have lost the entire series. It was game 6. They had a whole nother game to play.
And it wasn't a determined like I mean, in all honesty, you probably like it's so rare you get to catch a baseball. I understand why
Yeah.
Bartman did it.
And here's the thing, like even when you look at the angles of the camera, it doesn't even look like Moises Alou, even if nobody
Had a real
extended would.
shot.
Yeah, he didn't have a real shot at it, but it was like his reaction made absolutely no.
We need a five reasons why you can't blame Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson for Scottie Pippen never making it to the finals without Jordan.
It's like it was a semifinals. Yeah, it was a semifinals. The call happened in game five. They had two more games and they couldn't do it. Like,
Because Scottie Pippen's not a closer.
yeah, he was like, I
He's
think it
a,
was that same playoffs where he basically quit on his team.
yeah, because he only played the one playoffs without Jordan. Because remember the following
Yeah.
season, Jordan came back in
Oh
time.
yeah, because there ain't no way in hell he would that shit would have happened if Jordan was on that goddamn court. He wouldn't have sat out because he know he ain't getting the damn ball.
And that's the issue. It's just like you should be used to this. And he's like,
He-
yeah, I want to be the guy at the end of the game to get the ball. And it's just like, bruh,
Man,
you've
Tony
never
Kukoc.
been that guy.
It was like you were gonna be the decoy, and Tony Kukoc was gonna take the shot, and you were like, nah.
You know how pissed I'd be that the fact that it still worked?
Yo, they said Bill Carr. Yeah, when Bill Carr said he was crying, it was like, "Man, shut your bitch ass up. We got another game." No, but I get it. I get it. But it's like you don't.
No, because he was the leader of the team. It's just like, why would you behave like that just because you ain't getting the shot? Then you try to say Phil Jackson was racist for it.
It's all right,
Which
man.
I don't think that Phil Jackson wasn't racist.
You know what I'm saying? He has some racist ass shoulders. That
You
yo,
know what I'm
when your
saying? I'm
shoulders
not
do a
so,
90-degree angle, they ain't no, yo,
bruh, I ain't never, that dude was
you
built
know how to
like
tie a
Professor
knot in a rope.
Utonium. That dude was built like Professor Utonium. Over there adding sugar, spice, and everything nice to the Bulls, to the triangle offense.
No, no, but it's like you don't put because the thing about it is, um, when you put it's like do you like let's just put it with players playing with superstars playing with other all stars playing with all stars. Are you going to put do you put LeBron when the Heatles? Do you put Bosch's rings in the same level as LeBron's? Because if the logic is going to be that you put
No, because
Pippins against
LeBron won a championship, two championships without him. So that's why they're not on the
no
same
no I
level.
was just saying no I was
No,
saying like
I'm with you. I'm with you where you're coming
yeah
from. I'm
mm,
saying that's the argument against it. Well, no,
it's because he
because he won
got you.
without him. So yeah, he like Chris Bosh is the second biggest reason why LeBron didn't go 1-3 in those four finals appearances. Like a lot of people forget it was Chris Bosh who got that rebound and got the ball out to Rio.
Yeah, because Popovich forgot his best rebound. He
Put
forgot
the
his best
tallest guy on
rebound
the
and sitting on
court.
the bench.
Let's not put the tallest guy on the court for a defensive possession. Anyways, I don't want to go over that again because I've already snapped on this podcast
Yeah,
a couple
yeah.
times over
But
that.
yeah, you got to use that. My thing is that you got to start using that. Like, do you, because what's his name was like with Magic, because he was a star of the Showtime Lakers. Do you rank Kareem's rings at the
Mm,
same level as Magic's rings? Because if you're going to use his logic, you got to have to do that with everybody who's played with another all-star with the same amount of rings or when they played with each other and they had those you can't use
yeah.
that you can't just use that logic is there's like do you are you saying that like you get
You could probably make that a logic more for Magic than for Jordan. The reason because Kareem has two Finals MVPs.
Mm.
I think Magic only has two Finals MVPs.
Yeah, because I
Because I
think
think James Worthy has one, Kareem has two, and Magic has the other two. So like,
yeah, he does.
so but so it's just like, and then Magic went to the finals again without either of them. James Worthy was on the team, but I don't think he played, or he might have got injured in the finals against the Bulls. Um, I know he missed some time, or he wasn't as effective due to an injury. I can't
Mm.
remember completely. I haven't watched in 20 years maybe, but yeah, you could make that argument more for Magic than Jordan. Like Jordan won. That's where the six finals MVPs thing comes into play. You can't say that a guy couldn't have won X amount of finals without a certain guy. Like, not saying Scottie Pippen wasn't great, but if you were to input anybody with that sort of skill set, does that change anything?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You get a guy who's willing to be, the Robin to Michael Jordan's Batman
And that was one of
and
the
be a
arguments
versatile
that they
defensive player.
and that was one of the arguments that they made when he made that statement. It was like, okay, it's like, let's say you take Pippen away, you put in and you put the all-star Pippen's place, you think that he still wouldn't? He was like, no, because he was like, no, it wouldn't be the same. It's like, but if he still goes 6-0 with another all-star, what is your logic here? Like what like just defend your boy. That's my thing. Defend your
You
boy.
don't
But don't
have
sit
to.
here.
You don't have to defend him though.
You know what?
This
You're
was
right. Because the thing
unprovoked.
about it is he's solidified. He's already solidified.
This was unsolicited, unprovoked commentary. He just came out of nowhere with it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like he just wait for an opportunity to talk bad about Michael Jordan.
Yeah, because it was like what was it? He also said something about Michael because Michael had two parents, he's more so selfish. It was like, oh
Yeah,
my
like,
God.
bruh, like, what is happening here? You write this down? This dude got a composition notebook full of notes on why LeBron James had it tougher.
He's like, no, he only had one parent. That's why he always shares the wealth. But it was like because
Michael
me,
Jordan came up with three siblings, I think two brothers and a sister. So you don't think that he came up sharing? So I guess when he was like, all right, now I'm going to be selfish, which again, Michael Jordan, I think is second all time in assists for a shooting guard.
it's like, look, if you don't like Jordan, just say so.
He only doesn't like Jordan because of LeBron. Like, all these guys grew up admiring Jordan. So I don't understand why you disrespect him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like LeBron James wore 23 because of Jordan. He didn't wear 23 because of Mitch Richmond.
I was about to say Mark Aguirre, but I don't know if he wore 23. I think he wore 24.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so
Who was a all time Cleveland great? Like, it's not like because not saying that he was a Cleveland fan growing up, but like those are probably the games that he would have watched the most outside of Bulls games. It's not like
yeah,
he
it's
came
like
up, he wore the number that freaking,
fucking Mark
like, yeah,
Price.
like he didn't. It's not like he wore 13, or what number was Elo, 3?
Yeah, Elo was three.
Um, I
If
can't even
Elo
think
was your favorite player,
of. I mean, Elo is like today's Alex Caruso.
if
You
Alex
know,
Caruso is your favorite player,
yo,
like you just
I'm gonna move on after this, but because we're short on time. I just want to briefly touch points on two idiots, two stupid dogs. Um, I probably shouldn't say that about one of them. But anyways, like my boy, you hate basketball. What I said about him. If Julius Randle is your favorite basketball player, just say you hate basketball. If Craig Elo is your favorite basketball player, Alex Caruso, just say you hate
You hate
basketball.
basketball.
But to the two stupid dogs. We talked about them a couple weeks ago. Chud and Cheyenne, double C's.
Hmm.
Um, Chud the Builder. His team is reaching out to YouTubers, begging them for videos to help their case. And this particular guy, I forget his name. Oh, I can't remember his name. But he said that he hopes uh, Chud gets the death penalty for his crimes against you.
What?
Yeah, dude hit him up with the Chud the Builder representative hit him up, was like, yo, we need the video of that shows his innocence. He was like, first of all, if I had the video, I would never give it to you. I'd rather go to jail than to give you evidence to get your guy out. But what I do have actually hurts your case. I hope he said, then he showed, he said, I've been doing Chud the Builder content. He was like, thank you for being racist and thank you for making money. Dude made $122,000 over the last 28 days off of Chud the Builder content.
It's fucking crazy.
So he was like, thank you. Your racism is making me money. And so um, I love the fact that Tennessee is standing up, even though they screwed everybody over for their voting rights. At least they're standing up. At least that judge particularly is standing up for the life of a black man. And then Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, who I said should be incarcerated for her crimes against humanity, faking that she's a therapist. She gets on, she gone viral once again because whatever that channel is using, I guess, clout chasing right now, using old clips of her to show like how she's acted and where she cursed out Torre, who was a
Hmm.
media writer. Because I know he had mentioned like he had like debunked a lot of stuff in the 50 Cent documentary because he was actually first one of the people who conducted a lot of the interviews back then, and just pretty much spaz out on him. And people were saying like this is proof that she wasn't a doctor. I don't want to defend her, but just because you are a doctor of psychology don't mean you don't have moments of weakness. Don't mean that you don't have situations where all the training goes out the window because somebody pushed that
Hmm.
button. But at the same time, we know she's not a doctor because she keeps saying she don't got to prove that she's a doctor, which there ain't many people who are doctors that ain't trying to prove that they doctors.
And it's like, oh, so you think I'm lying, nigga? I said, watch this. Not because
I don't know
that's
any. I don't know anybody who ain't trying to. Who ain't? Let me phrase that. I don't know him, but Eric Thomas is a doctor, but he only puts it on his books. He don't put it on
mm,
nothing else. So and you could pull up his dissertation on like Cheyenne Bryant. But anyways, yeah, yeah. So she spazzed out on bro. Um, she is absolutely disgusting human being. She ain't on Chud's level of disgust, but I think
but
she
it's
needs to be
disgusting
privileged.
enough.
I think she needs to be put in prison. Every time somebody challenges her on anything, she goes to whatever is the most convenient deflection. Racism, white privilege, pretty punishment, woman, man, all kinds of nonsense that has nothing to do with anything except that you are a fraud. Plain and simple. Any thoughts on those?
Nah, you hit the nail on the head.
Was there anything else you wanted to talk about? Or are we good?
Uh, Real quick,
Uh-huh.
the NBA tanking stuff. So I'll just list off what the stuff is.
I hate this taking stuff.
So here we go. So they're using a 3-2-1 system. They expanded it to 16 teams, so it heavily flattens the odds. They penalize the three worst teams with fewer ping pong balls. So this is how it works. Uh, there's going to be three lottery balls for the teams that are 4 through 10. Two lottery balls for the three worst teams and the ninth and 10th seeds from the playing game, and one ping pong ball for the losers of the 7 versus 8 playing games. Um, what's it called? Now no team can get consecutive first round picks, and they're restricted. Yeah, they have number ones, and they're restricted to the top and restricting top five picks for back to back drafts and pick protection. It said teams are prohibited from attaching heavy top 12 through top 15 protections to newly traded draft picks. Basically, so basically,
Eliminate what the Mavs did.
yeah. And teams teams that try to yeah, they said if the league suspects a front office of directing its players and coaching staff to intentionally lose games, the commissioner has to impose multi-million-dollar fines, reduce a team's lottery odds, or forfeit or modify draft position. So, how do you feel about what they're doing with this new NBA 3-2-1 lottery system?
Get rid of the lottery. Get rid of the lottery. This every how do teams get better? Like, all right, the 76ers, they did the tanking thing, right? They did it for years. What are they now? Bums. Um, the Warriors tanked. People forget about that. The Warriors tanked with Steph and
Hmm.
what happened with that? Absolutely nothing. Um, 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 I just brought him up. Eric Thomas, the great American philosopher Eric Thomas once said this: winners win, losers lose. The teams that are always so when you have a team, let's say like the Warriors, who do very well, and then certain things happen to them, and then they have to take a hit for a couple of years. You're punishing teams for just being bad. And it's just like, okay,
Hmm.
there's no incentive to winning. Now there's no incentive to losing. But now there's no incentive to being a middling team. So it's just like, I guess at the end of the day, it's like, okay, now we get to see teams play basketball to the best of their abilities. But that's if somebody's it's your job as a GM to find a way to manipulate the game so that your team gets better draft picks to build the best team that they can. There's gonna be a loophole. As far as what the loophole is, I don't know. I don't get paid $12 million a year like these GMs to find out. But It's just nonsensical. There's no other league doing this nonsense. At the end of
But
the day,
if you're the worst team, you get the number one pick.
I think hockey has a lottery. Hockey weirdly copies the NBA with a lot of stuff. I've been watching the NHL playoffs. I think it's been amazing. I love every game. I've been watching the NBA as well, but I've been rooting for the Hurricanes. I don't know why. I do know why, but I don't know why. Because I went to Raleigh, North Carolina a few years ago, and I saw the stadium, and the arena looked fantastic. And so now that made me become a die easy Hurricanes fan. So, so I've been rooting for them all playoffs. But um, I don't
So
understand.
hockey's
Go ahead.
hockey system, but the lottery system is only for the first two picks.
Yeah, because I want to say I
So yeah, they
watched
said
it.
yeah, because they do individual it's only two individual draws to determine who gets the number one and number two picks. The remaining order of the first 16 picks is strictly an inverse of order of final regular season standing.
Yeah, so it's just
So I
like,
guess everybody gets a chance to get the first or second pick, but whoever doesn't get it, then it goes by record.
yeah. So it's just like I just don't I don't like the lottery thing. I really don't. It's just like, bruh, eventually a team's gonna have to make the if they're gonna win, they're gonna have to make the right moves to win. The bad teams stay bad. It doesn't matter how many number one overall picks they get. LeBron
Hmm.
James played for the Cavaliers, then he left. They were bad. They had number one overall picks. They used one of them for the guy that made Bill Simmons say, "Whoa," on national television.
Almost lost his job.
They had him, they had Anthony Bennett, they had Andrew Wiggins, they had Kyrie Irving. They didn't win a championship until LeBron came back. They had four number one overall picks from Andrew Wiggins to LeBron James, and they did nothing with them. Look at the Knicks. The Knicks haven't had a first overall pick. I don't think the Knicks have had a first overall pick since Patrick Ewing. The Knicks were really good with Patrick Ewing. After Patrick Ewing, there was that Spreewell Allen Houston era for a few years. Trash. Carmelo comes there, couple years, and trash after that. The only drafted player on this NBA Finals appearing New York Knicks team is Mitch Robinson, who throws the ball to himself when he shoots free throws. Bro literally does this and tosses it up and catches it and then shoots it. This dude has to simulate a catch and shoot and still can't make a free throw. That's
Why
I
would you
like
simulate
Mitchell.
something you don't?
Bruh, it don't make no sense. And
Why
I
would you
like
simulate
Mitchell
something you
Robinson.
don't do on a regular basis?
I like Mitchell Robinson, man. You know, he's a very good defensive player. He playing 15 minutes a game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in guess the number one overall pick who's on their team came from Minnesota. Minnesota is another team who had two number one overall picks on their roster. And not saying they weren't a solid team, but they weren't winning championships. And they got rid of one of them because they weren't winning championships. And that's the thing. That's the issue. No, having high draft picks don't guarantee it don't mean nothing if you don't know what you're doing. So that's why I hate this lottery thing. You think the NFL? Well, the Jets are the worst team at tanking, but like you think the NFL don't have these issues? You think the MLB don't have these issues? At the end of the day, you still got to get good players. You still got to get good coaching. You still got to create a good culture. Get, when the last time the Lions? What like the culture changed for the Lions? They had Matthew Stafford, who was a number one overall pick. They got rid of him, brought in Jared Goff, who was also a number one overall pick, I think.
Yeah, he is.
So they got a number one overall pick who's nowhere near as good as Stafford. The players that they've accumulated was due to great general managing. They built from the offensive line out. They built from the defensive line out. How many times the Jaguars had number one overall pick? Not saying the Jaguars aren't, the Jaguars aren't good now, but the Jaguars have been significantly less consistent than the Lions have been over the last since. The Jaguars have been through 4 coaches since Dan Campbell's been hired. And it had 3 number one overall picks since Dan Campbell's been hired. What are we talking about? They used two. My bad. They used one of them to get the clearly less capable player that the Lions ended up getting. And everybody thought Aiden Hutchinson was the better player. And they were like, no, we're going to go with the guy who has talent because Trent Baalke is a moron.
Because Trent Baalke likes measurables over numbers.
And that's the issue with with the whole lottery thing. It's like it don't matter. Those great players, for somehow, no matter how bad of a team they get drafted to, unless they get injured, they end up playing for these great teams anyways. Myles Garrett. We were just talking about Myles Garrett. We were just talking about AJ Brown. AJ Brown. I'm not talking about the Patriots though. He went from a terrible franchise in the what's it called in the Titans. They pissed off terrible franchise, and he ends up going to a good franchise in the Eagles, and they win a Super Bowl. Go to 2 Super Bowls, win 1. Like, bro, it don't matter. The Browns had the opportunity to draft Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. They went with Baker Mayfield. Mediocre Mayfield. Is Baker Mayfield, if you can put money on him if he's an underdog, apparently he wins or he covers. I don't care nothing about that. He's not a great quarterback. They looked at they looked at Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Who was the other guy who got drafted in that one? I think it was just the 4 of them.
Yeah, it was just 4 of them.
He's the least successful of them all. Now, don't get me wrong, Sam Darnold wasn't a great option either. But there were 2 MVPs in that. There were 2 MVPs in that. And they figured the Bengals got a gem in Joe Burrow. And they're like, you know what? We don't need an offensive line or a defense. Joe Burrow began beat to hell every season, injured every year.
If he don't start the season injured, he gonna finish the season injured.
We don't need to do anything with that. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like bad franchises always do the dumb thing. They always do the dumb thing. Do you know that the Jets and the Giants both have the worst and second worst records, I think, in total record over the last, it's either 5 or 7 seasons. This is seasons that include the Jaguars having 2 number 1 overall picks. The Jets nor the Giants have pulled off a number one overall pick despite having the two worst records. Winners win, losers lose. The sports universe, the sports gods, find a way to get the good players together. It don't matter what y'all do. So keep it like the NFL does. If y'all gonna tank, y'all gonna tank. Y'all gonna get rid of that player for draft capital in 3 years, anyways.
Yep. Because you don't want to pay him.
Because you don't want to pay him, and you're gonna think you thinking that your new draft pick's about to do something special for you. They not. Why? Because you're stupid like the Bears. Hey, let's keep a horrible coach with our new quarterback. And yeah, we got the best offensive mind wanting to come to us, but let's not get him and waste a season, or waste a year of his life. Jaguars, oh yeah, let's get a college coach that's never developed a quarterback. Yeah, we have the best prospect ever since Andrew Luck, but yeah, let's get him paired with a college quarterback that created Tim Tebow. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, let's get rid of Sam Darnold. Not saying that Sam Darnold was good with the Jets. I don't even think he's really all that good now. But let's get rid of Sam Darnold to get a smaller, weaker version of him in Zach Wilson to then replace him with an elderly person. To then replace him with a quarterback that don't win games. All this happened in 4 seasons.
Yeah, this sounds about right.
Winners win, losers lose. That's simple. And actually, that's what my parting shot is. Zero's going to have the last parting shot. My parting shot, winners win, losers lose. Enough with the draft stuff. All it does is complicate things and make people find other ways to get an edge and cheat. I don't care. The worst teams, if they want to be bad, they're going to be bad. There's nothing stopping them. They can't help themselves but to be bad. Baker Mayfield was the first overall pick. Anthony Bennett was the first overall pick. Markelle Fultz was the first overall pick. Cut it out. Ben Simmons was the first overall pick. Cut it out. Lonzo Ball was the number 2 overall pick. Cut it out. Michael
Look,
Ottawa
stop thinking of more. Looking over at the damn fridge and then thinking of more.
I'm done. That's my parting shot. Zero, go ahead, man.
All right, my parting shot is Knicks are gonna sweep because a wrestler uncursed them. I said it in the beginning. I'll say it again. Danhausen said when they were down 2-1 that he uncursed the Knicks, and they have yet to lose a game since he got uncursed.
Wallace. Bring them brooms out. Bring them brooms out, Wallace.
Shoot, it's gonna be fresh bristles.
I'll send Dan some money if he was.
Yeah, no, what's it?
I'll send him some money for that.
Yeah, what was it? He calls it human monies. So you got to send him some human monies.
I don't know how that sounds crazy. That sounds like some Epstein file stuff. I don't know.
Yo, this is like, boy, this is out the mud.
All right, y'all. This has been the Sweet Brothers Podcast. Thank y'all so much for watching, listening. We love you. We'll see you next week.